So there is a difference between working on something brand new in kind of a different genre than a traditional operatic work. And I think what's exciting about that is the unknown about what is it supposed to be. I think the nature of this particular piece, which is dealing with identity, and it's kind of like, what's the identity of this work? And I think that's something that has been talked about a lot between Danook, myself, the team, in terms of where does this live, how does this live, and the approach is brand new because it's never been done before. So that's kind of always exciting and nerve-wracking because you hope you get it right in some degree and that it kind of resonates with the people that you're presenting it to, and that's always kind of an exciting, thrilling challenge. So I think people in Toronto should come to this show because it's dealing with something that I think every day probably we encounter this. You look in the mirror and who is looking back at you? And what do you say about that person that is looking back at you? And so when it comes to identity and how we interact with ourselves and one another, are we being as generous or as kind or as loving? And I think a piece like this really looks at who is that other person on the other side of the mirror, and where do we find one's worth, direction, focus, motivation, and be in a safe place where we can ask those questions. So if you've seen the film version of Identity, I think that's a wonderful kind of sampler into what this is, but I would 10 times out of 10 argue that being there live and hearing this music in person is going to transcend your experience. I think the other incredible factor is you're going to hear brand new music that is being written, and this is like the world premiere of this work. And so if you're looking for an experience that is unique, that you've never kind of experienced before in a venue, the Elmo Combo, which is legendary in the city of Toronto, this is the time and this is the work to do that.